Welcome back. I'm fairly excited for y'all to be here. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Maybe ring the notification bell. Welcome to my first episode for Curse of Strahd. This series will be narrated in character by an NPC that the players will meet eventually. We start our journey 1 month after the disappearance of the grand city of Ultrarel. I'm sure you've heard of the story by now, of suddenly the second sun hanging above Ultrarel turning black, and then the city just disappearing. Well, our heroes witnessed it and then fled. Eventually they joined a caravan and went from city to city along the Sword Coast, being refused entry, as many of the cities they visited were more than skeptical of their allegiance. After they visited many cities, the caravan had decided to head north to Daggerford, as they had heard rumors that they were opening their gates to any refugees of the crisis. When they were about a week away from the city, they started having strange and horrific dreams. On one such night, they were awoke as the caravan stopped. They emerged from their carts to discover the head cart had been nearly crushed by a large falling tree. Most decided to move the tree and aid the owner of the crushed cart. But after they were almost ready to set off again, one of the group, Nylian, got struck in the back with a blast of flames as a hail of arrows flooded from the tree line, and 3 small goblins ran blades drawn. They dispatched the goblins, but not without casualty. Nylian was almost killed, and most of the others were significantly injured. Yet they decided to watch over the caravan, make sure no one else attacked, and that it arrived safely that evening. They arrived at Daggerford around 2 in the morning, and were asked questions by a few guards about their occupation, names, and the reasons for entering the city. Then the guards directed them to the Queen Charge Tavern and Inn, which they all charged to buy food, beds, and drink, and then promptly crashed. After they calmed down, they saw the farmer going from table to table, asking a few questions, and then sinking lower and lower. As they saw this, Rowan went to ask him what was wrong with him. That night, they all had the same dreams. But this time, they were different. There was more. They awoke in a strange tent across from an old woman, who spoke to them as she handed a card. "Find the others," she said in a thick accent. That morning, they all woke up with strange cards in their hands. Rowan, the beast. Asun, the healer. Kali, the monk. Mori, the temptress. Stone, the priest. Nylian, the transmuter. Alec, the Dark Lord. Gorax, the broken one. Jonathan, the paladin. After they calmed down, they saw the farmer going from table to table, asking a few questions, and then sinking lower and lower. As they saw this, Rowan went to ask him what was wrong with him. He responded by saying, "My wife has been murdered a few days ago, and my children kidnapped. I've been trying to get people to help, but no one will give me the time of day." Safe to say, Rollin volunteered his group to help the poor man. They discussed they would leave tomorrow morning, and then parted ways. After a little bit, the group left to do some shopping, but were stopped by a cloaked noble, who told them to meet him in the keep after some discussion. As the noble approached them, Rowan slipped away into the closest merchant, which just so happened to be a loan shark, and was offered many great loans, but Rowan refused by a small, energetic goblin. They went to the keep, discussed with the Duchess about recent happenings, and were promised payment to find the kids, as well as deliver justice to whatever had slain their mother. When she sent them off, she gave them a sword, Lion's Roar, that had the ability to inspire or demean people. After they left the keep, they then went shopping and visited Slash and Bonk, a small weapons shop owned by an older, half-orc man who was very open about his bed habits, involving whips. They learned everything was a bit too expensive for them. After they left, Aeson went back to test his B&E skills. Do not ask me why, he is a lawful good paladin. I'm just as confused as you are. Well, Aeson succeeded in breaking and entering, but he saw a very disturbing scene involving the orc, his wife, and a whip. This upset him so much he flew into a rage, ran to the streets, and murdered a woman. Rowan heard this and fled into action. After seeing the sight of Aeson and the body, he lost himself as he grew larger and hairier. He then attacked Aeson with all his fury. Soon the others came and tried to keep both of them from killing each other for nearly 25 rounds, if my count is right. The both of them survived, barely. Aeson went for a bed, and Rowan went to the river to wash himself.